Today we're going to be talking about accounting for non-profit making organizations. We all know that, or probably some of us are not aware, but for those who are students of accounting, we should know that there are some certain organizations that are not created for profit making. And the reason why they are created is for the improvement of the welfare of their members. So when we talk about improving the welfare of the members, it means a collective association or driving goals that will benefit not just an individual, but those who are specific members of that organization. This means that individuals are identified based on their membership. That is, before you can benefit from all the welfare packages that are available in such an organization, it means you must be a registered member. For example, clubs, thrift and credit societies. Okay, members are expected to have registered by paying a certain sum of amount. They must subscribe to the organization, and also they must be willing to patronize businesses that are run by the organization. So it means that members have to put their funds together in order to improve the organization and ensure the continuity of the organization into the foreseeable future. So this pool of funds serve as a means of creating the basic amenities that are needed or required by the members. So today we're going to be looking at what non-profit making organization looks like, sorry, and how you as a student of accounting can prepare the necessary books of account to record all transactions that are associated with such an organization. Also, you should note that a non-profit making organization allows its members to voting rights. The voting rights are determined by your contribution towards the growth of that organization. That is, one person, one vote. So what we're saying again is that you also need to familiarize yourself with the features, with the terminologies that are associated with non-profit making organizations. So what is a non-profit making organization? A non-profit making organization is simply an organization, that is established for non-profit making purposes. That is, the reason for creating such an organization is to improve on the welfare of its members. And we should not forget that there are times whereby the non-profit organizations also make profit. This is only when they carry out trading activities. But the primary aim of a non-profit making organization is to improve on the welfare of the members and not to make profit. So there are various accounting terminologies that can be found in preparing accounts for non-profit making organization. Okay, some of them are what we mean by subscriptions. We have subscriptions, and subscriptions are divided into subscriptions in arrear and subscription in advance. Okay, we have subscription in arrears and subscription in advance. Okay, now when we talk about subscription, what we're simply saying is that subscription, this is regarded to as the contributions made by the members of the organization, which entitles the members to some certain benefit. Okay, this can either be paid in advance or in arrears. So I'm going to be explaining that. Okay, when we talk about subscription in arrears, this can be defined as the amount of money or amount of subscription that is due from members at a given year, which is yet to be paid by the member for that particular year. Now, we treat this as a current asset in the statement of affairs, which is also similar to what we call the balance sheet or statement of financial position for trading organizations. Okay, so we also have what we call subscription in advance. Okay, subscription in advance is simply the amount of money paid by members for the coming year. That is the year that we have not really had any form of transaction. That is in the future, and members have already paid for them. Okay, and the members have not derived any form of benefit from the payments that they have made. So in this case, this is a liability to the organization. That is, the non-profit making organization is a liability because the members have paid already for a year that they have not benefited from. So meaning that the company is what the organization is owing them, and they have a right to claim on their entitlement for the monies or subscription being paid. Okay. Also, we also have a term called accumulated funds. Okay. Now, accumulated fund is a form of a capital. We have capital in the trading account. Okay, in trading companies in their final accounts. Okay. So, but for non-profit organization, we call it accumulated funds. Now, the accumulated fund is regarded to as the excess of the assets over the organization's liability. And this is also regarded to as what? As the capital. That is, the accumulated fund AF equals to the total assets of the organization minus the liabilities, which is a composition of the current liabilities and non-current, long-term liabilities and current liabilities. Okay. So we have on the assets, we have the current assets and non-current asset. Okay. For the liabilities, we have the long-term liabilities. We also have the current liabilities. Okay. So for this, when we're talking about the accumulated fund, this is just similar to capital, and which is equal to accumulated fund equals to the assets minus the total liabilities. Okay. So that is that on the terminologies that we're going to be discussing as we move on in the class. So we also have features of non-profit making organizations. Number one is that they are created by law. Yes, they are created by the law. They are not profit driven. Okay. Also, number three, they are concerned about the improvement of the welfare of their members. Okay. They are concerned about the improvement of the welfare of the members. Also, the funds are made available through the contributions from members in the form of subscriptions and donations. Okay. Then next is that the surplus made is not distributed to members as dividend. Okay. and the members' interests are subjected to votes based on their contributions. So, for now, we have familiarized ourselves with definitions of terms that we can find in non-profit making organization accounts. We'll also talk about the features of non-profit making organizations. We've talked about the meaning of non-profit making organization, and now we're going to be talking about the um, comparison, the um, difference between the difference between uh, trading organizations and non-profit making organizations. Number one is that in regards to their setup, the reason why normal businesses are created is to make profit. But for clubs or societies that is non-profit making organizations, they are created for non-profit making purposes. Okay. Number two is that non-profit making organizations are created to improve the welfare of their members. But profit making organizations like trading companies are created to make profit and share dividend to the investors or the shareholders who are the owners or the risk takers of the business. Okay. Now the normal businesses are financed by equities. Okay. While the non-profit making organizations are only financed through contributions and donations. Okay. Also, the definition of assets in a business, normal business making profit, is owner's equity plus liabilities. When you sum up the owner's equities, okay, plus liabilities will give you the total assets. But in the case of um, non-profit making organizations, we have assets equals to the accumulated fund that we get from the statement of affairs plus the liabilities. Okay, so we're going to be doing some things in our subsequent um, video. But for now, what we've just done is to just explain what non-profit making organization is. We've talked about the features. We talked about the features. The features. We talked about um, definition. Talk about the definition. The definition. We've also talked about the accounting terminologies. The accounting terminologies. Terminologies. And also, we've also made a comparison, comparison between trading businesses, businesses and non-profit making businesses. Okay. So, in our next video, we're going to be doing or treating some accounting transactions and preparing the two types of accounts or three types of accounts, that is the receipt and payment account, the income and expenditure account, and also we will try as much as possible to make in the next video the statement of affairs for non-profit making organization, where we're going to be determining the accumulated fund that particular accounting period. Okay, so let us look forward to the next video on accounting for non-profit making organizations, where we're going to be treating some accounting transactions together in this class. So thank you very much for your time, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.